what we're trying to do is avoid those disputes, aren't we? What are the papers full of? What is the Sunday Mail full of nowadays? Full of ads. But apart from ads, it's also full of those, hey, look, this is the latest family. Here we are. This man, he's worth $91 million. His children 3 years ago applied to the Guardianship and Tribunal for $2 million each while he was still alive. They wanted some money first. They found that he doesn't have capacity, even though he's supervising the management of his shopping centre. And there are 7 lawyers at the bar table all arguing about his money. He's still alive, but the courts have found him not to have capacity. What about Supreme Court Judge Burns? He's on the front page of the Sunday Mail as well, isn't he? He's arguing about his mother's estate, which he left to the cat home. So they're the sort of disagreements we have. Now, do you think in any of those situations the family had a discussion about what was going to happen in the future? It's unlikely. That's why there's a dispute, isn't there? Typically. So we've got lots and lots of stories, you know. I don't know how many times we've seen this, you know, where we've got a dad and the 3 children, they've worked together for 30 years without one dispute. Because if you want to dispute anything, you're out of the will. It's just follow dad's way, isn't it? That sort of situation. Or alternatively, if you've got 2 brothers or a brother and sister or 2 sisters who've worked together for 30 years, what do they always tell you when you come along and tell them they need a partnership agreement? We know how each other thinks, don't we? We've been together for all that period of time because they've grown up in the one house and they know each other intimately, don't they? And they probably don't need an agreement. They were always going to work together. They've got those sort of personalities. So really, you know, I'm sort of saying, if we're in a business, we really probably do need to document something. We need to have a plan to make it successful. Particularly if we don't have a situation where we have a father who's a tyrant or a matriarch that's running that business, who's dictating the way that things are going to be. And where the, you know, what's that saying? That first generation builds it up, that second generation consolidates it, and the third generation does what? Well, that's, yeah, there's another word I think they use. But that third generation, do they, those grandkids, multiple grandkids, do they grow up in the one home? They grow up in, you know, if you've got 4 kids, they grow up in 4 different homes, don't they? Are they the same age? They're different ages, aren't they? So you might have someone who's 40, you might have someone who's 20. They haven't grown up under the same roof, they've grown up under their parents. So that's where you get that real dichotomy, don't you? And that's where you see a lot of businesses fail because they're not on the same sort of mission, they don't have the same values. So that's why we need to have some sort of governance, a document. You know, I've talked about partnership agreements, shareholders agreements, unitholders agreements, but we're really just talking about, okay, what are the rules, what are our goals, let's write them down. And they're not going to stay static.